The NFL draft is behind us, and it kind of just changed everything in fantasy football. So we're about to go through a full mock draft. We're all mocking against each other, and you guys will decide whose team is the best. But first, we need the very, very helpful wheel spinner to figure out who's going first. Samps, go ahead and spin that thing and figure out where you're drafting from.
All right, let's see what he gets. Sam's locking it in with pick number
story
6.
Of my life. Perfectly average, right smack dab in the middle.
All right, this one's I'm up next. Let's see what I get here. Let's go. I'm hoping for choose your pick. Choose your pick. Oh, okay. I'll take the end. I'll take number 12.
Ugly number 12.
And then Avery, let's see what you get. That's not bad.
I'm not going to lie, guys. Pick number 3 is kind of my favorite right now, so I'm hoping for that.
Oh, my gosh.
We really staggered it perfectly,
oh my
guys.
Gosh. Well, all right.
Yup.
Well, Avery gets pick number 1. Here's the quick draft settings here. So we got a PPR draft. Of course, it's a snake draft. We're going to have 2 minutes for our picks to talk about them, make our decisions. We got everybody in here, not just rookies. And then the roster settings, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and just 2 bench spots. So only rule is you have to fill out that entire starting lineup before the end of the draft. So if you wanted to wait on tight end or quarterback to the very end, that will be your last pick. And we are going to get Avery going with his first overall pick.
There's really only one real answer, and that is Bijan Robinson, clearing away the number 1. No Tyler Algier anymore. I'm happy with that.
And much to my sadness, JSN goes right before my pick because you know what? Why wouldn't he? Kind of makes my decision easier. I made a vow after last season's fantasy drafts that if Puka Nacua is there for me at my pick this year, I'm taking him. And that's what we're going to do here. His target share is insane, and Puka Nacua is someone I'm going to rely on, although he might be a little crazy.
All right, let's see what we get at pick number 12. We got Justin Jefferson on the board, Drake London, Ashton Genty, Devon Achane. Man, I think I'm going to go double running back here. Just want to go for those guys because not sure who's going to be there for wide receiver or for running backs later on. I do like Trey McBride, but this feels a little bit early for me. It's just what running backs am I going to take? I've got Saquon. I've got Jeremiah Love. I'm actually going to just sort to the running backs here. With Miami not really having any receiving options, not too much. And I know Malik Willis is there, going to take some rushing, but I think their wide receiver 1 is Devon Achane. So I am going to take him. That was kind of an easy choice, though, just because I know I have the second pick here. So it's between Ashton Genty for me, upgraded offensive line, upgraded quarterback, not too many other options, and Omarion Hampton, who I think is going to be a lot better this year. He's got the upgraded O-line just from them being healthy. I'm not going Jeremiah Love. I'm not going Saquon. I'm not going Chase Brown, who I do like this year. So it's between these two. And I think for me, I'm going to go with the volume. I like the Raiders upgrades. I'm going to go with Ashton Genty.
Double RB is an effective start. Let's see what the board looks like for me. Team 8 went double RB as well. Man, I like the way this board fell. I was considering going with multiple wide receivers, but London, Jefferson, and Collins went off the board. I don't necessarily trust Malik Neighbors' knee this year. It's very, very tempting to go with my guy, T. McBee here. Very, very tempting. It's early, or not early, but middle of the second round. We got Jeremiah Love on the board. Don't love that situation at all, if I'm being quite honest with you. I think, based on how this board looks right now, I'm going to go with T. McBee. I'm going to get the positional advantage here. I'm going to go.
I like that.
To start.
Now, one thing I will say, I don't really like the first pick because the back of the second round, the pickings are definitely not as good as early in the second round. I would have loved a wide receiver in a Nico Collins, Drake London, even a Malik Neighbors I would be fine with. But we need a wide receiver. I don't think Chris Olave is that bad. I do believe in the Tyler Shuck mania, the Tyler Shuck season. And if I'm looking at the next turn, it's a Devonta Smith, a Emeka Egbuka, Jameson Williams. That's definitely a tier down. So I 100% need a wide receiver. So I think Chris Olave is going to be the answer here when he's healthy. He's an absolute dog. And I will tell you, the tight ends this year, you either take a top 3 guy or you're just absolutely cooked at the position. So I'm going to take this spot to take Brock Bowers and not have to worry about all of the mid tight ends that are left on the board.
I was hoping you were not going to do that. That was a great pick. Great pick.
Great pick, Avery.
Wow.
Okay, now
all right.
I'm back on the board, and the board has fell in a very particular way. It's kind of unfortunate. I found myself in recent years, like if there's a running back I'm not like a massive fan of at the top of the board, I'm kind of like, man, like, do I really want to do that? It kind of goes back to the NFL mindset of like take the best player available sort of thing. It's tough. It's real tough because if you look at these running backs, they are bleak in about 4 or 5, and I cannot imagine more of them not going off the board here. So I feel sort of inclined that I have to take one. And to be honest with you, I don't really love them. So maybe I'll just go completely back on what I just said, to be honest.
Little zero RB, maybe.
Maybe a zero RB. Maybe we let it fly. You know what? I think you're right. I'm gonna go zero RB here. Go with my my gut here. I'm gonna take Josh Allen.
Oh man, that's a great pick.
Wide receiver 1, tight end 1, and QB 1. I have that potential there. Kind of talked myself in a circle, but now Seth's on the board.
All right. Wide receivers, Garrett Wilson. You know, they got Geno Smith for the Jets. We got Luther Burden. I know some people are excited about him with DJ Moore leaving, but it just seems a little bit risky. I mean, we can check out how he ended last season with the PPR. You can see just a couple games. Let me make sure that this is last year. Yep. Let me go. Yep. Last year, just 11 points per game PPR, 8 points per game, 9 points. Really only one game over 10 points. I think this is a little bit high for Luther Burden. We do have to make 2 picks here. Jalen Waddle on the board, Devonta Adams, Ladd McConkey. It's tough on the wide receivers because I didn't get them early. A lot of them going off the board here. Let's see who we got available. Man, I don't love Garrett Wilson. I like him, but I don't know if I trust him on the Jets. Devonta Adams, I don't know if I trust. I think Ladd McConkey is a little bit of a sleeper this year. He's going to rise up draft boards because Keenan Allen's no longer with the team. He's a free agent, so that's a lot of open targets for Ladd. So I think that is definitely a way that I'm leaning. I'm going to reach on the board here. This is going to be maybe a little bit of surprise, but I'm going to go with Ladd McConkey, and I'm going to get my guys here. You see Devonta Smith, he's ranked here a little bit later down than these guys, but if A.J. Brown is gone, I'm going to assume A.J. Brown is going to the Patriots. I think that spot ahead in the draft for Team 3 still makes sense. If he goes to the Patriots, he could be that good. And I do think that Devonta Smith, let's just check out his player card last year. You see how good he was in PPR. 9 targets, 12 points, 15 points, 14 points. No A.J. Brown. He can definitely do a little bit better than this, I believe, and that would be amazing. So I am going to go with Devonta Smith, assuming A.J. Brown is going to the Patriots.
I was hoping he would fall back to me. That's kind of upsetting.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was ever going to happen, Avery, respectfully, because I probably would have taken him as well. I had the same thought process, but there comes a point in time where you got to make a choice. Are we going 0 RB or are we not going 0 RB? We kind of started that way, but the problem is I'm not super fond of the receivers on the board. Already have my quarterback, already have my tight end. Man,
Team 8 has it out for you. Look at them going all 4 running backs.
They are really irking me. Same with Team 2. Like they have the entire lion's share of running backs, and it's really irking me. So I feel like I have to. You never know what these bots are going to do. I'm going to just take the healthy running back who's leading his team. He's not like the sexiest pick by any stretch of the imagination, but we're going to go and take Travis Etienne here. And like I'm okay with that. Leading running back for the Saints, I'm cool with that. Tyler Shuck, take that step forward.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I'm a little bit salty right now because I don't like what I'm seeing on the board. I don't think Trayvon Henderson should be valued this high to even be my sleeper suggestion, which is why you guys need to be using the WalterPicks app because it shows you the differences in ADPs and who's actually a value. The thing is, I really don't like any of these running backs. I don't think Trayvon Henderson should be valued this high at all. I feel like I kind of have to take one, though, because if you look down at my next round at pick 70 plus, it's like those guys are so much worse. We're going with Jameson Williams.
Wow.
I'm not too happy about it. We're going like a hero RB strategy right now.
Now you got to pick again.
That's just the name of the game here and why I don't like the number 1 overall pick. But I don't want to punt the position at running back. I know Sam's kind of already did that.
I mean, you have Bijan. Let's be honest with ourselves. We did not punt the running back position.
No, yeah, you got the best one off the board.
He's good for 2 running backs.
From the way these CPUs are playing, I'm kind of like in the position to where I need to take running back. So I'm just going to swallow my pride and hope this works out.
Let me just real quick, as we get to Sam's picks, you got 2 minutes, but I will say if you mock draft in the WalterPicks app, we have bots that are not going to do what Team 8 has done, taking all the running backs, even though there's only 2 running back spots in a flex. I will just say that real quick. Go ahead, Sams.
All right, we are now on the clock, and interestingly enough, I am sort of starting to be okay with how the board's shaken out based on how this draft has gone. I'm looking at the running backs, and I'm not super fond of RJ Harvey given the situation he's in. They brought Dobbins back. They also drafted a running back. I'm honestly considering two pathways here. If you check out the WalterPicks email newsletter, I put Bajul Tootin as a sleeper because he's the main guy. There's really no one there competing with him right now. All he did was sign Chris Rodriguez. No disrespect to Chris Rodriguez, but like he ain't all that. And then we got Quinshon Judkins coming off an injury, but Quinshon Judkins was great before he got hurt. So that's a strong consideration in the back of my head. So for me right now, it boils down to Bajul Tootin or Quinshon Judkins. And I think with the O-line upgrades, I think with the way Todd Monken's going to run the offense, I'm pretty excited. I'm going to take Quinshon Judkins and hope he's healthy earlier in the season. And I'm okay with that. I'm taking Quinshon Judkins.
Receivers, quarterbacks off the board, tight end off the board. I'm looking at my team. I'm seeing quarterback is open, tight end is open, and my flex is open. You went Quinshon Judkins, huh? I think Bajul Tootin. I was worried you're going to go Bajul Tootin. I do think that he's going to be a strong choice this year. I agree with everything you're saying. If I do wait on quarterback, though, it will be a significant decrease to someone like Jackson Dart, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams. I think I'm generally okay with that, honestly. Joe Burrow is obviously amazing, but I'm not having any sort of stack benefits. So I'm looking at RJ Harvey, looking at Bajul Tootin, maybe getting a little bit more running back security here, because let's look at the running back room real quick. After those guys goes Jalen Warren. I mean, Kyle Monangai. We got a kind of a running back twos really start to hit heavy here. So I'm definitely going to go with at least one running back. And I'm going to just check out what Bajul Tootin did last year. We did see some good weeks. This really is his opportunity to take over. A little bit risky, though. You see last year he didn't really do incredible. RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins should be back. RJ Harvey looked pretty good at the end of the season. I'm really trusting the Broncos to use their running backs a lot, and I'm really just looking for flex value. It's tough here, though. Jalen Warren should have the majority of the Steelers' backfield. Man, I'm running out of time. I definitely need a running back. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Harold Fannin Jr., and I'm going to buy myself some more time to consider my running back choice. Harold Fannin Jr., I know they had Denzel Boston. I know they had Casey Concepcion, but he was the top target on the Browns last year with 107 targets. Whether it's Deshaun Watson, I looked back. I was trying to say, hey, Deshaun Watson doesn't target tight ends. I looked back at his last starts in 2024, I believe it was, or maybe it was 2025. Either one of those, he targeted the tight end quite a bit as well. All right. And then for the running back choice, it's really between Jalen Warren. I'm not picking David Montgomery. Don't trust the Texans here. Too much competition. It's Bajul Tootin, RJ Harvey. And I think for me, I'm going to go with, it's tough. J.K. Dobbins is back, but I'm going to go RJ Harvey, taking over more of the board here and seeing what the Broncos can do.
Yeah, I thought the deep exhale you had when I was talking about Bajul Tootin was almost certainly going to result in you selecting him there. But
yeah, it's close.
Immediately after. Take a second to look at Team 9 for me if you're watching and can see the screen. They said, we don't care about running backs. We're going to do everything except running backs. And now I'm on the clock here. And this is pretty interesting. There's lots of enticing guys on the board at this point. And lots of guys worth considering. It's kind of crazy looking at the board now. Like Brian Thomas is still here and we're in round 6. If that had been the case 2 years ago, we would have said, what the heck? That's crazy. We have some interesting wide receivers, and that's the position I'm probably looking at here. To be honest, as Seth just alluded to, the running backs are a little bit iffy right now. I don't really want Jordan Tyson because I took Travis Etienne. Don't want too many pieces of the Saints offense. Don't want my eggs in one basket. Christian Watson is a little bit of a health risk, but he is absolutely electric when he's on the field, and they didn't do much to address the wide receiver room this offseason. I don't trust DK Metcalf at all. Do we think Michael Wilson can do what he did last season? Jacoby Brissett will be playing quarterback. Mekhi Lemon's super exciting, but the pass share is not going to be substantial in the Philly offense. So that's where my head's at right now. And I'm going to sort of just take a little bit of a risk here. And you got to check out the WalterPicks rookie guide to really see just how we feel about all these guys. I'm going to take Mekhi Lemon here.
Wow. Over Jordan Tyson.
I didn't want to stack him with Travis Etienne. That was the real tiebreaker.
True.
And AJ Brown's going to be gone, so we're going to take Mekhi Lemon out of the slot in Philly.
I will say this Jordan Tyson pick is staring me right in the face. And I would absolutely love to take it if I did not already have Chris Olave. That's like a death
Wow,
sentence.
both of you have Saints.
I wish we didn't.
In a normal,
Yeah.
in a normal league, I would still take Jordan Tyson and then work my way around the trades. But since this is a mock draft, that's not really entirely possible. So unfortunately, as much as I want to take Jordan Tyson, bro has to be faded. So we're going to go with the best available here with Christian Watson. And when he is healthy, like Samps was saying, now that they have a little bit more of a condensed wide receiver room, I think this is a decent pick. So we got a lot of our wide receivers pretty much down. The only thing I need is a quarterback to fill out my starting roster. I could go Justin Herbert. I have a feeling that these CPUs are just going to start ripping quarterbacks soon because we know they love to take two, and then it's going to be kind of annoying to get the rest. But I'm also never really been like an early quarterback guy. I kind of just like to wait. I don't see these running backs on the board as that big of a teardrop between my next picks. Like Ramondre Stevenson, Calvin guy, they're like, okay. So I think I should just take what's given to me. And I do think like Justin Herbert, when healthy and a healthy offensive line, let's lock in some Jay Herbert.
Oh no, Oh no,
Here goes the quarterbacks.
Oh no. All right, hopefully a couple will fall to me.
Okay.
We're
Now
back
I'm
at
back
it.
on the board. And there's some really, really, really intriguing guys here. I mean, Alec Pierce just got a bag. DK still on the board. Even the bots don't like him. Michael Wilson. Do we trust Michael Wilson to go absolute Calvin Johnson mode? I don't know. Is Jacoby Myers or Brian Thomas someone worth considering? Perhaps. I think given my composition of Nakua and Lemon's certainly more risky. I think it makes a lot of sense to go back in and take a safer receiving option. And I think of the top 5 receivers available right now, I think that's Jacoby Myers. And I think I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers here and take the safe option to pair with Mekhi Lemon as my 2 receiver picks back to back.
All right, I'm back on the clock here. We need a quarterback. We also need 2 of our flex spots. Right now we have 3 running backs. So if we did go for a flex, we'd probably go for a wide receiver. That's probably what we'll do with these 2 picks, quarterback and wide receiver. So let's bring up the board here. Let's look at our quarterback choices. We got Dak Prescott. I mean, he's got CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. That's an elite option. We got I like Brock Purdy quite a bit. You got Stafford, who is okay. You got Bo Nix with the rushing upside. I think for me, I'm between Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy. Both those guys were pretty solid last year. The only issue with Dak is that a couple weeks he did have issues with the with the team just scoring a ton of rushing touchdowns, which led to some poor performances on any given week. But we do see last year, looks like he was quarterback 5. I'm not sure if this down here says quarterback 6 in 2025, says PPR number 6. That's not bad. So I think for me, I'm going to go with Dak Prescott, the CeeDee Lamb, the George Pickens, both of them being healthy to start the season. Last year is kind of like a lot of Lamb missing. So I'm going to go with Dak Prescott as my quarterback. And then for my first flex, we got Brian Thomas Jr. We could take the risk on him. We got Marvin Harrison. Let's look at the wide receivers because that's really our choice. Ricky Pearsall, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman Jr. is gone. But man, Marvin Harrison is looking good this late. Very, very low risk. Hard to see how that's going to hurt me if I have him on the bench, because if he does have that breakout year, we look at his stats from last year, and let's see, he did do a little bit stronger, at least 10 points a game for most of the games. I think I'm going to go with that. This could be a league winning pick if he does well. And if it doesn't work out, it's not that big a deal. He's my first player on my bench. So I'm going to go with Marvin Harrison Jr.
I like that. And remember, if you're watching this video, to go and vote on the WalterPicks Instagram who you think had the best mock draft. Now I'm going to take a look, and with only 2 picks remaining, we're filling out these last 2 bench spots. I'm not overly blown away by the running backs remaining. That is certainly worth acknowledging, and I'm kind of shocked because the board, I was almost considering this player with my last pick. So I'm going to take him now. He's still here. Seth just said it. Michael Pittman's not there anymore. I'm taking Alec Pierce. Pretty excited to get him there.
I will say, Avery, while you're thinking about your pick, I mean, guys, it's looking like we have to go running back early this year. Do you guys agree?
100%.
Well, I would say that. However, I don't think there will be 2 teams in people's leagues that take 7 of the running backs in the first 3 to 4 rounds. That feels a little ridiculous, but it does drop off quick.
We did only have 1 team take past the roster limit. It was just team 8. Really, that went past the roster limit with this pick of Javonte.
Because we only have such few bench spots.
Yep.
There's no need to go with a backup tight end. There's no need to go with another quarterback. You know, I like the idea of Slick Rick, Ricky Pearsall, but with Mike Evans and now DeJon Stribling being drafted first pick in the second round, which I think is an absolute reach, but that's a whole other conversation for another day. I'm going to be going with my guy, and I'm trusting Kyler Murray to protect my guy in Jordan Addison.
Wow.
I'll say there's one player I really hope Avery doesn't pick, and I hope he gets back to me, and I will.
No, I hope not. I hope not. I know who it is. I already know who it is. So before you make your pick, if he's still on the board when he comes around, I'm going to guess who you're going to pick.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I like how I have some stack abilities here with Justin Herbert.
Yep. Okay.
So we're taking the upside.
I like it. And oh no. I know who this. Well,
he's still there for me. The guy I wanted to take.
I know. I think I know who it's going to be. And if he's still there for me, I'm going to take him.
I'm actually going to go with one of Seth's my guys from the rookie guide. I'm going to take Jadarian Price.
I love it.
And hopefully get the Seahawks goal line work.
I love the pick of Jadarian Price. First round draft capital. Charbonnet's injured to start the season. Ken Walker, as we see how he went super early here. So great pick. For me, I'm looking at my team here, guys. You can see that I've got the roster up as well as hosting in Sleeper here. I've got Achane, I've got Genty, I've got Ladd, I've got Fan. I've got a lot of youth on this team. But I am going to go for the tight end available, George Kittle. I mean, when he's available, he's one of the best tight ends in the league.
Bijan Robinson alone is going to carry this team to at least make the playoffs.
So the argument is that you got the first pick. That's why they should pick.
The argument is that I got the first pick.
I just want to make sure that's what you're saying.
Well, there's more to that. Because we also got the number one tight end in Brock Bowers with Fernando Mendoza on the roster. Absolutely snipe of a pick. Once you lock in the positions that are positional advantages in Brock Bowers, that is amazing. I think Trevion Henderson, obviously I was talking about how he's not my favorite pick. I kind of abandoned the running backs here. I think looking back at it, I could have taken a Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I could have taken a somebody with this last pick and not Quentin No Hands Johnson. But outside of that, the rest of the team is stacked. Justin Herbert, finally healthy offense. Christian Watson, if he is healthy, will be a dog. Jordan Addison with a new quarterback.
I got to be honest with you guys. I know everyone likes to smell their own farts after a draft. I think they did really good. But, I think I did a really good job with not taking a running back in the first 3 rounds. I got a receiver who can finish as receiver 1, tight end who's probably going to finish as a tight end 1, and a QB who almost always finishes as the QB 1. I have the leading running back in the Kellen Moore offense, the leading running back in the Todd Monken offense, a high capital receiver on a good Eagles offense that's improving on the offensive line, Jacoby Myers and Alec Pierce, who should be safe targets, and then Jadarian Price, who should be the goal line back, or at least the starting running back for the Super Bowl champions.
And then for mine, I went for deals and steals. This is something you got to watch out for in fantasy football drafts. Players who have kind of sneaky increases. We got Devon Achane. Waddle is gone. He is even more exciting. We got Genty, who had the offensive line upgrade. They have a better center. They have a better offensive line. They brought Fernando Mendoza in. Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen is gone. Devonta Smith, we're assuming in this draft that A.J. Brown is gone. Both those guys could see major increases in their target share. Harold Finn Jr. in the tight end position. I mean, I did back him up with George Kittle. I think either one of those guys any given week could be solid. Harold Finn Jr. definitely going to be a little bit of a downgrade because they brought in Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston. But I love that I have that George Kittle backup when he's healthy and see how Harold Finn looks. A little bit less risky there by going late tight end. RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins dealt with injury at the end of the season. He could definitely take over to start off. And then Dak Prescott. I mean, we got Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, 2 of the top wide receivers in the league on the same team. And then we got a little upside with Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not going to say that that's the reason I'm going to win the draft, but it's certainly some upside with some really safer options higher up. So let us know who you think won on the Instagram. And if you want a mock draft against a little bit better bots than this, make sure you download the WalterPicks app. You can use the rankings. You can use the mock draft bots to make sure you are the most prepared person in your league to dominate your fantasy draft.